Musk has a plan of making the human generation multiplanetary. For this, he is building multi-billion-dollar spacecrafts and other equipment. This requires funding, and to fulfill the needs, Musk has initiated different projects. One such project is Starlink. Starlink is the company's plan to build an interconnected internet network with thousands of satellites, known in the space industry as a constellation, designed to deliver high-speed internet to customers anywhere on the planet. The SpaceX Starlink project consists of 42,000 Starlink satellites that will provide internet access to people all over the world, including those in remote areas where the internet is currently unavailable. The 42,000 satellites will be launched at different times to form a network that will span the globe. SpaceX has launched over 1,740 satellites into orbit so far. SpaceX has teamed up with Google to promote the use of their internet-delivering satellites. Google said that it has signed a deal with Elon Musk's SpaceX to use the space company's growing satellite internet service, Starlink, with its cloud unit. The goal of this agreement, according to Google, is to use the cloud for Starlink customers while also allowing Google to use the satellite network's fast internet for its enterprise cloud customers. Under the deal, Elon Musk's SpaceX development company will install Starlink ground stations at Google data centers that connect to Starlink satellites, with an aim to enable high-speed broadband internet via Google Cloud. SpaceX will first install ground stations at Google data centers in the United States before moving on to the rest of the world. SpaceX will install the first satellite terminal at Google's New Albany, Ohio data center. These data centers will be linked to space-based Starlink satellites, which will give businesses with high-speed internet access the secure, low-latency, and dependable distribution of data from the Starlink satellites above to sites at the network edge that will be enabled by these ground stations in Google data centers. SpaceX President and Chief Operating Officer Gwen Shotwell said in a statement, combining Starlink's high-speed, low-latency broadband with Google's infrastructure and capabilities provides global organizations with a secure and fast connection that modern organizations expect. We are proud to work with Google to deliver this access to businesses, public sector organizations, and many other groups operating around the world. SpaceX's Starlink project intends to bring high-speed internet to homes and companies that aren't wired for it around the world. People and companies using the Starlink service will be able to access cloud services and applications such as machine learning and analytics as a result of the partnership. Organizations with vast footprint, such as government agencies, firms with network edge presence, or those operating in rural or remote areas, usually require access to cloud-based apps or cloud services like analytics, artificial intelligence, or machine learning. Starlink's constellation of low Earth orbit satellites provides a route for these businesses to distribute data and apps to teams across countries and continents quickly and securely. Now, you're probably wondering how this is going to work. So, like any other internet providing system, there is no need for cell towers. Instead, customers' devices will connect to satellites, which will subsequently connect to Google data centers. Customers can utilize Google's cloud service to run applications quickly inside those data centers. Or they can send data to other firm services that are close by, resulting in low latency and little lag. After that, the data is routed to Google data centers, satellites, and finally, the end user. The partnership is a natural fit for Elon Musk's SpaceX and Google, which invested $900 million in the space firm in 2015 to cover a variety of technology, including satellite manufacturing. Urs Holtz, SVP of Infrastructure at Google Cloud, said that he is delighted about this collaboration, which will give businesses streamless, secure, and quick access to the vital applications and services they need to keep their teams functioning smoothly across countries and continents. He said, applications and services running in the cloud can be transformative for organizations, whether they're operating in a highly networked or remote environment. The agreement is also a success for Google, which is competing for market share in a rapidly developing cloud computing market against Amazon and Microsoft. Bikash Kohli, Google's head of global networking, said, "This is one of a kind. I don't believe something like this has been done before. The real potential of this technology became very obvious. The power of combining cloud and universal secure connectivity, it's a very powerful combination. It's also a unique contract for Google, or any other cloud provider, because it mainly relies on Google's internet network, which connects data centers rather than merely outsourcing processing power or data storage to these data centers." Thomas Kieran, CEO of Google's Cloud Group, said, "They chose us because of the quality of our network and the distribution and reach of our network." Google's cloud business represents approximately 7% of overall revenue, according to its most recent financial report. The partnership with Starlink may allow Google to get a foothold in the cloud computing business, which is now controlled by Amazon and Microsoft. With the advent of general-purpose computing and storage capabilities from its Amazon Web Service division in 2006, Amazon popularized the public cloud business. In 2012, Google launched its own computing service. However, Google has invested money building a private fiber optic network to connect its data centers during the last 2 decades. While much of Google Cloud's growth has come from serving clients like Goldman Sachs and Snap with computer and storage needs, the SpaceX arrangement will rely significantly on Google's networking skills. The partnership would not only provide services to the remote areas, but now the company is also working toward providing high-speed internet to the flights. Elon Musk recently talked about SpaceX's intention to use Starlink for in-flight Wi-Fi, saying that his business is in talks with airlines about bringing the high-speed satellite internet service on board. A Twitter user asked Musk if he has any plans to make Starlink available on any airlines. To this, Musk replied that, yes, we are talking to airlines about installing Starlink. Please let them know if you want it on your airliner. He further added that Starlink could add low-latency, half-gigabyte connectivity in the air. SpaceX Vice President Jonathan Hofeller earlier this year said that the company is in talks with several airlines about adding Starlink in-flight Wi-Fi, noting that it has an aviation product in development. Hofeller said in June, "We've already done some demonstrations to date and are looking to get that product finalized to be put on aircrafts in the very near future." Providing internet to flights is not a new concept. In-flight Wi-Fi is provided by satellite broadband providers such as Viasat and Intelsat. Viasat and Intelsat are 2 such businesses that provide connectivity on flights by Delta, JetBlue, American Airlines, and United. Hofeller further stressed that Starlink provided a worldwide mesh, allowing airlines flying beneath that global mesh to have connectivity wherever they go. According to Musk, the timescale for when Starlink can be used by airliners is now dictated by regulatory approval, as the service needs to be certified for each aircraft type. About the partnership, the Starlink constellation collaboration between SpaceX and Google Cloud will provide a stable foundation for the company's future endeavors. Despite its plan to provide internet connectivity to customers all over the world, businesses are an essential source of revenue for any internet service provider, and SpaceX will enjoy its new entry into the market.